My brother Mark always excelled in school. Straight A's, star athlete, the apple of our parents' eyes. I was different. I loved art and music, but my grades were, well, just average. I felt invisible, like a shadow in Mark's light. One Christmas morning, the difference in our parents' affection became painfully clear. Mark unwrapped his gift, a beautiful, shiny new bicycle. I received a set of paintbrushes, a gift I appreciated, but it paled in comparison to Mark's magnificent bike. That Christmas morning, the seed of jealousy was planted in my heart. My parents, perhaps unknowingly, had shown a preference, and I felt the sting of being the less favored child. It felt unfair, and the feeling lingered long after the Christmas decorations were put away. Jealousy is a powerful emotion. It's like a dark cloud that follows you, casting a shadow over everything. I found myself constantly comparing myself to Mark. His achievements felt like my failures. I became withdrawn and resentful. It felt like my parents' love was a pie and Mark was getting a much larger slice than me. Every hug he received, every word of praise he earned, felt like a personal slight. The constant comparison stole my joy. My own accomplishments felt insignificant. Why bother trying when I would always be in Mark's shadow? The feeling of inadequacy became a heavy weight on my shoulders. My relationship with Mark suffered. The jealousy I harbored created a wall between us. It was difficult to be happy for his successes, and I'm sure my resentment was evident. We went from being close playmates to distant acquaintances living under the same roof. Simple conversations became strained, filled with unspoken tension. The happy memories of our childhood were tainted by the bitterness of perceived favoritism. Years later, I realized that Mark wasn't to blame. He was just being himself, excelling in ways that came naturally to him. The problem wasn't him, it was my own insecurity, and the painful belief that my parents' love was conditional. Healing from the wounds of perceived favoritism is a journey. It requires introspection, forgiveness, and a shift in perspective. I had to confront my own insecurities and learn to value my own unique qualities. Therapy provided a safe space to unpack my emotions and develop healthier coping mechanisms. I learned that my parents loved us both, but they expressed it differently. I began to focus on my strengths and celebrate my own accomplishments. Most importantly, I learned to define my self-worth not through comparisons but through self-acceptance. I stopped seeking validation from my parents or comparing myself to Mark. I realized that